Robin Hood turns butcher. Now, after all these things had happened, and it became known to Robin Hood that the sheriff had tried 3 times to make him captive, he said to himself, "If I have the chance, I will make our worshipful sheriff pay right well for that which he hath done to me. Maybe I bring him some time into Sherwood Forest and have him to a right merry feast with us." For when Robin Hood caught a baron or a squire or a fat abbot or bishop, he brought them to the greenwood tree and feasted them before he lighted their purses. But in the meantime Robin Hood and this brave band lived quietly in Sherwood Forest without showing their faces abroad. For Robin knew that it would be wise for him to be seen in the neighbourhood of Nottingham, though in authority being very worth with him. But though they did not go abroad, they lived a merry life within the woodlands, spending the days in shooting at garlands hung up on a willow wand, and at the end of the glade the leafy lies ringing with merry yeast and laughter. For whoever missed the garland was given a sound buffet, which it delivered by Little John never failed to topple over the unfortunate yeoman. Then they had brought of wrestling and of cudgel play, so that every day they gained in skill and strength. Thus they dwelt for nearly a year, and in that time Robin Hood often turned over in his mind many meanings of making an even score with the sheriff. At least he began to fret at his confinement, so one day he took up his stout cudgel and set forth to seek adventure, strolling blithely along until he came to the edge of Sherwood. There he was rambled along the sunlight road. He met a lusty young butcher driving a fine mare and riding in a stout new cart, all hung about with meat. Merrily whistling the butcher as he jogged along, for he was going to the market, and that day was fresh and sweet, making his heart blitz within him. "Good morrow to thee, jolly fellow," quoth Robin. "Thou seemest happy this young morn." "Ay, that I am," quoth the jolly butcher, "and why should I not be? Am I not held in wind and limb? Have I not the bonniest lass in all Nottinghamshire? And lastly, am I not to be married to her on Thursday next in sweet Locksley Town?" "Ha!" said Robin, "comest thou from Locksley Town? Well do I know that fair place for miles about, and well do I know each hedge-grove and gentle Pepsley stream, and even all the bright little fishes therein, for there I was born and bred. Now, where goest thou with thy meat, my fair friend?" "I go to the market, to Nottingham town, to sell my beef and my mutton," answered the butcher. "But who art thou that comest from Locksley Town?" "A yeoman am I, and men call me Robin Hood." "Now, by Our Lady's grace," cried the butcher, "well do I know thy name, and many a times have I heard thy deeds, both sung and spoken. But heaven forbid thou shouldest take an oath of me. An honest man am I, and have wronged neither man nor maid. So trouble me not, good master, as I have never troubled thee." "Nay, heaven forbid indeed," quoth Robin, "that I should take from such as thee, jolly fellow. Not so much as 1 farthing would I take from thee, for I love a fair Saxon face like thee right well, more especially when it cometh from Locksley Town, and most especially when the man that oatheth is to marry to a bonny lass on Thursday next. But come, tell me for what piece thou wilt sell me all of thy meat and thy horse and cart." "At 4 marks do I welt meat, cart, and mare," quoth the butcher. "But if I do not sell all my meat, I will have 4 marks and 12. Then Robin Hood puckled the purse from his girdle, and quoth he, Here in his purse are 6 marks. Now I will feign a butcher for the day and sell my meat in Nottingham town. Wilt thou close a bargain with me and take 6 marks for thine outfit? Now may the blessings of all saints for all thy honest head, cried the butcher right jollyful, as he leaped down from his cart and took the purse of Robin Hood held out to him. Nay, quoth Robin, laughing loudly, many do like me and wish me well, but farewell me honest. Now get thee gone back to thy lass, and give her a sweet kiss from me. So saying, he donned the butcher's apron, and climbing into the cart, he took the reins in his hand and drove off through the forest to Nottingham town. When he came to Nottingham, he entered the part of the market where butchers stood and took up his inn, stand for selling, in the best place he could find. Next he opened his stall and spread the meat upon the branch. Then, taking his clever and steer and cluttering them together, he trolled aloud in merry tones. Now come ye lasses and eke ye lambs, and buy your meat from me. For 3 pennies worth of meat I sell, for the change of 1 penny. A lamb have I that heaveth fat upon nought, but the dainty dame's speed, and the violet sweet, and the daffodil, that grow fair streams beside. And beef have I from the heathery woods, and mutton from dales all green, and wells as white as the maiden's brow, with its mother's milk I ween. Then come ye lasses and eke ye dames, come buy your meat from me. For 3 pennies worth of meat I sell, for the change of 1 penny. Thus he sang bitterly, while all who stood near listened amazingly. Then, when he had finished, he cluttered the steer and levered still more loudly, shouting lastly, now who will buy, 4 fixed prices have I. 3 penny worths of meat I sell to the fair fat friar, as pricest for 6 pence, for I want not their custom. Stout edelman I charge 3 pence, for I doth no matter to me whether they buy or not. 2 buxmom dames I sell 3 pennyworths of meat for a 1 penny, for I like their custom well, but to the bonny lass that harvest a liking for a good side butcher I charge nought but a fair kiss, for I have her custom the best of all. Then all began to stare and wonder and crowd around, laughing, for never was such selling heard in all Nottingham town. But when they came to buy, they found it as he said, for he gave good wife or dame as much meat for 1 penny as they could buy elsewhere for 3. And when a widow or a poor woman came to him, he gave her flesh for nothing. But when a merry lass came and gave him a kiss, he charged not 1 penny for his meat. And many such came to his stall, for his eyes were blue and the skies of June. And he laughed merrily, giving to each full measures. Just he sold his meat so fast that no butcher that stood near him could sell anything.